Hello, Facebook. Here for another edition of Facebook Live, of course. And you know me from my final thoughts, but my next guest is known for his daily rants. So you put the two of us together and we make a hell of a lot of noise. So joining me now, daily rants guy, Graham Allen. So Graham, you were just on my show. We had a great conversation. We're going to replicate some of that there for those that didn't see the show or won't see the show. So let's talk about something that I am particularly concerned with right now, and that's the Hollywood elite lecturing those of us in middle America, or those of us that aren't as elite, wealthy, prestigious as they are, about how we should live our lives and also how we should hate the president. Now, we talked about something that I think is laughable at best, and that would be Sarah Silverman asking the military to join her in her effort to resist President Trump through a military coup. Now, Graham, I know that you're a military man. What do you think the likelihood of something like that happening would be?
It's slim to none, especially with someone like Sarah Silverman, first of all. You know, maybe if Denzel popped up and started, I don't know. But it's ridiculous at best. And like we talked about on the show for everybody here, when you join the military, it's very simple. You know, you swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution, all that, and basically, to put it bluntly, do what the president says, regardless if you agree, all the above. And so you are asking men and women who put a service above themselves to basically abandon what they have devoted their lives to.
Not only abandon it for someone like Sarah Silverman and Meryl Streep and their little army of snowflakes, because they don't like President Trump and it shattered their bubble, so now they want a resistance.
Exactly.
It's quite amazing to me.
Well, it's a slippery slope. Well, you know, like we said earlier, you are asking for something that I really don't even think that they understand what they're asking for. You know, that you really want anarchy. You really want
I really do.
In the streets. You want all this stuff. Well, yeah, I'm sure
that's what they're doing.
Because on TV, that looks like the right thing to do, and all this stuff.
They've convinced themselves in their crooked little minds that's the right thing to do. But you know, we talked about something that they're vocalizing now. Especially we start with the SAG Awards, the Golden Globes. We're going to have the Oscars coming up. We know that that's going to be essentially their political theater once again for them to stand around with each other, wearing $1,000 gowns, sipping champagne, talking about how they care about refugees.
Real American problems.
They care about real American problems, and now they care about refugees. And now they're saying, in their America, refugees are not turned away. But I said something to you earlier, and I want to get your thoughts on it again for Facebook. I think it's really, really rich and really something for the Hollywood elite who live with 24-hour security, live in gated communities in Beverly Hills or Manhattan in a high-rise, to tell average Americans that we should be welcoming refugees who the FBI said could not be properly vetted, who ISIS has said they have implanted sleeper cells within refugee populations. For them to stand on a stage and tell us what their America looks like and that we should just let everyone in because it's the right thing to do according to the Hollywood elite, that's really something to me. When they're guarded.
Well, it's like we talked about earlier. First of all, and I do mean first of all, I don't believe that half of these Hollywood elite people even really care in the first place. It is the popular thing to talk about. It is the trending thing on Facebook to talk about. So they know that if they do it, it's going to get them out in the face and all this stuff, right? So that's first and foremost. I don't believe that they care whatsoever about refugees and all this stuff. But like you said, they are trying to speak, and their America would not do this. What is your America? What America is that? When the America that you have no worries, you can do whatever you want, you can buy whatever you want, your kids have whatever they want. How do you speak for normal Americans in the first place? You don't. I believe that perspective is something that is so valuable, to realize that you are not in a situation
to deal with it.
Exactly.
They will never have refugees or refugees in their backyards. They just will not. Because I don't think that they're going to pump refugees into Beverly Hills.
Probably never meet one.
They will never be near one, but it's easy for them to stand on a stage and talk about. That's incredibly frustrating to me. And here's what else. They have a platform, and you know what? I respect their platform because I have one as well. So they can voice off, they can sound off, they can whine, cry, what have you. That is their right, and that is okay with me. I will criticize it, but they have that right. I do, however, I look to those individuals that want to have the trendy cause of the week, and I ask them, when is the next time that you're going to talk about veterans? When is the next time you're going to talk about those that have fought and died for this country and those family members that have lost loved ones overseas fighting the very evil that apparently you are okay with bringing into the United States? When are you going to talk about those people, or is that just not cool enough for Hollywood?
Right. I got into a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and you know, my rant page is a page that I like to believe that I don't believe that my ideas are the de facto ideas or the way it should be, and I like conversating with people. And somebody said that to put veterans over refugees in the same conversation is to not understand the problem, and that talking about refugees and talking about homeless veterans or jobless veterans shouldn't even be included in the same conversation. And my response to that was, you're right. The veterans should be the first conversation, in my opinion, because those are people, those are our citizens, our brothers, our sisters that paid the price, that serve the country, that need our help. And it's, in my opinion, it's America first.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you know what, Graham? As soon as you say something like America first, which our president ran
people are going
on
crazy
and was elected,
right now,
go,
I'm sure.
No, not on my page. Not on my page. When you say America first, to me, every nation has a right to put its people above the rest of the world. Every nation has that right. We know that some nations have chosen not to, and they are now reaping the rewards of that, and that would be Germany and places like Belgium and France, others that are dealing with the refugee crisis right now because they decided to have open borders. They decided that everyone was welcome, and now their own citizens are suffering. I think Brexit is a great example of that, where folks said, you know what, enough of this crap. We have a right to put our people and our nation first, and that also means legal immigrants, because if you are a legal immigrant and you've gone through the process and you respect our rule of law, you are an American. But they don't understand it.
Real life is different than ideas. You know, everybody has an idea. Oh, we should let all these refugees in and everybody lives together and it's going to be perfect and America can be the big brother to every nation and we can take all these hurting people in. That's a great idea, and it's the right idea. But real life is different than that. Everybody that tries to come to our borders or into our borders does not have the best intentions in play. Everybody that comes over here does not try to do it the right way. And real life, the biggest complaint that people say right now with closing the borders is this. What about the children or the mothers trying to get their children over here? It's sad. It is. And I don't disagree with that.
But I want to add to something.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is sad to see the mothers and the children and the families. That is very sad. But you know what else is sad? The fact that ISIS also straps bombs to those mothers and those children, and that's what they conveniently ignore. That these areas are jihadist controlled, they are war-torn, they have problems. They are strapping bombs to women, they are strapping bombs to children, they are strapping bombs to the mentally disabled. They don't care. And that's the thing, that's the whole reality versus this perfect worldview that some folks want to have because they live in Beverly Hills, because they live in a high-rise in Manhattan, because they don't understand it. You've been there, you've seen it. When they bring this women and children, this emotional plea up, to say that we're cold-hearted is not correct. To say that we understand reality is correct.
I'm a firm believer that in big decisions, you have to remove the emotion out of it. And all these people protesting and even some rioting and all the above, it's emotional. It's not rational thought. Like we said on the show, if there's a leak or if there's a bleed somewhere in a system, the very first thing you do is you shut the water off or you figure out a way to stop the influx or the flow of whatever's wrong. And then you internally evaluate what's going on.
Which is what President Trump tried to do. Saying a 90 or 100, that's the thing that people are, well, it's inconvenient at airports, people are being stopped. Listen, I've said this on my Facebook before, and it might be controversial, but I'm going to say it again. Every time I go to the airport, I have to take my freaking shoes off. And no, I don't have a bomb in my shoes, but because some person one time wanted to put a bomb there or put a bomb in their freaking underwear, I now have to be scrutinized for it. But guess what? Because of the good of the country and national security, I'm willing to do that and not complain. So for those that say, oh, well, you know what? They looked at me a little weird, or I had to wait, or I had to be stalled in customs for a while. Guess what? If that's going to make the nation as a whole a little bit safer, I don't have a problem with it, and if you love America and if you want to be an American, you shouldn't have a problem with it either.
Tell that to veterans that are overseas that were supposed to come home 3 months ago and something changed. Oh, I know that you told your family you were coming, but guess what? You're not coming now. Tell that to them.
People, veterans, active duty military as well, that spend years of their lives deployed to the worst places on the globe, and they are deployed in those areas for years.
Yeah.
Years. And then we've got people that are complaining about a 90 or 120 day temporary halt so that we can figure out what the hell is going on. That to me is irrational. And I don't think that the ones that are so angry about it, I don't even think that they really understand the ramifications.
It's the popular thing to do right now. And that's why so many people are up in arms. It is the trendy, as you like to say all the time, narrative that everybody's focusing on right now. Oh, Donald Trump this, oh, Donald Trump that. Refugees, we should do this, we should do that. You've got people like Starbucks, saying they're going to hire 10,000 refugees and things like that. And I took a lot of heat for this because I said, I think that's bogus. Why don't you hire 10,000 veterans? And people came back and said in 2013, Starbucks did have an initiative and they have all this. Good, do it again. That's my response. Good for them. Do it again. Why are you? It makes no sense to me. Until all veterans are off the street, homeless without jobs, in my opinion, it's, again, America first. And that's just how I believe.
You have to take care of your own first. I mean, it's as simple as if they want to simplify it to the point where their brains can understand it. It's like when you're in an airplane and they say before assisting others, put your own freaking mask on.
Exactly.
You need to do that with a country. And other nations, it's not like we don't have an example to look to. Look at Europe. Look at the example that they've provided for us. What happens when you welcome Tom, Dick, Harry, and Mohammed? That is what happens. They are dealing with repercussions of that right now.
Right, and it's a good analogy there with the airplane. I'm glad you said that. For all these people that are hoping that Trump fails, I said this earlier, America is the plane, and Donald Trump is the pilot. And so for you to hope that Donald Trump fails, you're hoping that the pilot on the plane that you're sitting on is going to go down. And so we all fail if the president fails, in my opinion, no matter who it is. Even when President Obama was in office, we fail if he fails. President Bush, same thing. We fail if he fails. It's no different, no matter who it is in office. If Hillary Clinton would have won, America would fail if Hillary Clinton would have failed. And it's simply because that everybody, so many people hate the fact that Donald Trump is in office, that they just, every little thing, he could say every kid gets a pony and people would lose their mind.
That's the thing. You have to be selective. When they protest over everything from day one until day 93, which is what we're at since the election, when you do that every single day and you protest every little thing, your argument is no longer legitimate. And when he actually does something wrong, when he actually does something that you could come up and be a resistance to, no one takes you seriously anymore because we look at you and you're like, you hate Trump. You've hated Trump from the beginning. You walk around with signs that say F Trump. We don't take you seriously anymore.
Right. Well, the simple fact is he's going to do something wrong. At some point in 4 or maybe 8 years that he's in office, he's going to be 8. Yeah, he's going to do something wrong. He's a person. There is no way that presidents are not gods. Presidents are not perfect.
Tell that to the mainstream media because it sure as hell thought Barack Obama was a god.
Exactly. He's going to mess up. But the point is to rally behind the person that is in charge. Republicans, Democrats, it doesn't matter. Collectively, we need to come together and work together to make America great again. I mean, that's
what a perfect way to end it. Graham, thank you for your rants. Thanks for being with me, having the conversation.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your service as well. And folks, we'll see you very soon. My final thoughts are coming out a little bit later. And of course, they're talking about Trump's tweets because the mainstream media really has nothing else to talk about besides what Trump has tweeted. So I'll see you later for final thoughts. And until next time, God bless and take care.